So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Aztec Safety is #1 for online safety training.
Aztec Safety is the proud sponsor of the Aztec Safety Challenge, the #1 event on the World Curling Tour.
And Aztec Safety has been a proud sponsor of Team Jacobs on our quest to represent Canada at the Olympic Games.
Good morning and welcome to the penultimate day of curling here at the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. Jim Nix and Sean Joyce bringing you this one on the mic, so we hope you enjoy it. It's a game between a local Saskatchewan team, not local, Regina. Sean can tell us where that is in a minute. And Miyu Ueno out of Karuizawa, Japan. Sean, what can you tell us about Regina and Jolene Campbell anyways?
Well, it's cold in Regina today.
Yeah, I don't envy you.
Yeah, and the team is probably a little bit spread out, but playing registered out of Regina. I think Robin is still in, I think she's in North Battleford, hails from Bigger. Rachel Erickson, I think, is in Regina now. She's from Manitoba originally, but has been in Regina since she went to university. Jolene hails from Davidson, and I think is in Regina working now. To be honest, I'm not sure where Dana calls home right now, but
yeah. So this team is new to me, obviously, and probably relatively new anyways. We've seen Jolene Campbell a little bit the last couple of years, but not with this squad.
Yeah, no, newly formed for this season, and this is my first chance to take a look at them as well, although they will be at provincials here in a few weeks. So they've had a good season. They pre-qualified. They didn't have to go through the last chance, so they've had a decent season. Not having the event here so far that they'd like, but this is a good chance to talk about how the playoffs are set up here. There are 16 teams going through some kind of a playoff. So they started out with, we got the rundown on this yesterday, and this is where I need either a telestrator or screen graphics, because it's much easier to show you how this works with visuals. But 6 groups of 4 playing round robin portion to try to qualify for action beyond the round robin. Let's put it that way. The winner of each pool advances to playoffs for sure. The top 2 teams other than that also advance. Now those 8 will essentially get divided into 4-page groups, and those are the 1-2 teams in the page groups. Your next 8 best teams will be the next, the 3 4s in each of the 4 playoff groups, and they'll play essentially it's 4-page playoffs, and the 2 finalists in each of those page. That makes up your 8 playoff teams. So what that means as we come into this, which is the final round robin draw for the women, is that we actually only have, I think it was 2 teams officially eliminated already. Everybody else kind of still alive. And that's where we're at with this game. Jolene Campbell comes in with a record of 0-2. But if she wins this game at 1-2, somebody at 1-2 is going to get into the playoffs, and it's hard to know just yet how many. So it's going to come down to that last stone draw. For Ueno, she's already 1-1. If she wins this game, she can guarantee herself a spot in playoffs somewhere. Doesn't have to worry about last stone draw.
I got to tell you, that's an excellent explanation. I kind of knew it, but hard to. I tried to describe it yesterday, and I just saw like, wow, I can't figure out how to tell people about this. Don't see it. Yeah.
And it's really interesting was your scoreboard watching this morning, because I was looking across at the other games that are on. So there's one pool. There's 2 teams at 1-1 playing head to head. Well, that's winner is in and loser is relying on draw to the button. And then the other 2 sheets with women's games on right now, it's 4 teams at 0-2. The loser's out for sure, and the winner at least has that draw to the button. And there's going to be a lot of teams that end up at 1-2. So a lot of draw to the button is going to count, and it's hard to know how many berths are going to go to those 1 and 2 teams until we see how it all shakes out. I haven't seen this format before, but it certainly makes for some interesting scoreboard watching here. And this is the last draw of the round robin, and everybody that's on the ice is still alive essentially, unless they know they've got a horrible draw to the button score, But
yeah. There's probably a few that are you'd have to see that to know exactly, but that's pretty good though, because I actually thought Jolene didn't have a hope. I thought there was no chance for her, and not knowing her draw to the button, I just assumed the 1 and 2 teams wouldn't make it. But when you think about 16 out of 24 are going to get through, it probably isn't a surprise, or shouldn't be a surprise, that there's a couple that are going to get in at 1 or 2. So
yeah, it's just hard to know how many right now.
Yeah.
In this pool, the pool that these teams are playing out of Pool A. Silvana Terzoni went through at 3-0, so she's won the pool. Yeah. She's advancing for sure. Constantini's 1-2. She's finished play. These 2 teams are playing their last game. 2-1 will get you through. It won't necessarily get you through to that. There's going to be lots of 2-1 teams, so they'll have to use draw to the button there to determine who's going to be the 2 that go through those page 1-2 games and who drops to the 3-4 games. But it's a very interesting format. Yeah. I don't know whoever come up with it, but it probably, as we talked yesterday with Jerry, it was kind of a way to blend, kind of a little bit like blend it into a bit of a triple knockout without really being a triple knockout. So, Anyway. Yeah, but go ahead. At least it's not a double knockout. And a lot of times these small pools, if you were only qualifying the top 8, you'd be using that last stone draw between a bunch of teams that are tied at 2-1, and that means somebody at 2-1 is going home. Yeah. Well, that never feels good. No, I agree. Yeah, you're going to have a short spiel history if you start sending the teams home at 2-1. Yeah. But 2-1 here, you're still guaranteed you're playing another game, and you can't. If you lose, well, it's not a case of going home with only 1 loss anymore. Yeah. You've got to lose at least 2 to be eliminated here. Yeah. So we are well into the first end here, but we needed to let you know how that was going to work, so you had some idea when you're watching, and if you are scoreboard watching, so it just meant a little tiny bit more to you. So looking at this here just for a second before we get going again, it's looks like the Ueno team is playing only with 3 this morning. So I don't know how we're going to figure out exactly who's not here, but we'll see if we can read it on jackets or whatever. But I think we figured out by trying to remember, because I think they played their opening game with only 3, and I saw that one, and I believe it's Junko Nishimuro who is listed as the second, who wasn't on the ice. Okay. And I actually believe, if I recall correctly, that Asuka Kanai she throws the lead stones, but I believe she holds the broom for Miyu Ueno when she throws the 4th stones. Okay. So we're exactly halfway through the end here. We're just past halfway, but we are with Ueno having hammer. I guess this is her second shot. So, probably not have her second shot. They'll be throwing 3 apiece. I got to figure that out in my mind. Yeah. Yeah, it's always tough to know how to describe those. This would be the first of the traditional third stones. Yeah. We'll call them the lead and the third. We'll just assume the second's not here. And
That seems like the right way to do it anyways when you have only 3 players. So Campbell in some trouble here, considering she doesn't have hammer in the first end, and she's looking at 3 right now.
Yeah.
A couple of them pretty well buried behind the corner.
There is a double here. It's long, but the angle's really good. It looks like it's about half rock. Now, if you come dead into the side of that stone in the 12-foot, I think you might still be shot rock, and you're in front of the one at the back 8.
Robin Silvernagel. Quite a history. It seems she disappeared for a couple of years, but she's a good player. Been at the national stage multiple times, so didn't quite get what you wanted there. It came up pretty good for that much weight.
Yeah.
So Miyu Ueno now. Miyu Ueno. Gonna hit and stay right there, I imagine.
Yeah, she just for the roll behind the corner. I'd be tempted to hit this right on the nose, like you said, because here's the problem. You roll behind and you almost force Jolene to try the freeze onto that back one. Well, if she makes it, she takes your end away.
Yeah.
Jolene's looking at the short runner, red onto yellow. Probably play it with to try to roll all the way across too. Yeah.
Trying to find a way to get out of this end without giving up 3.
It's a little.
Do you like this shot, Sean?
No.
I don't love it, but
Unless you make it.
yeah. Yeah.
But it's tough. I mean, they're in a lot of trouble here in this first end. If you could ever make the freeze to the back one,
yeah,
you're out of trouble. But it's the first end, and that's a pretty precise shot.
Yeah.
If it was the 5th, I'm sure she'd be playing it.
Yeah, and you're also going out. You go in the opposite direction where the draw to the buds were, so you're just not really sure exactly what speed you need to go with and everything to get over to that. So the only thing I like is that if I did it, I know I'm in trouble, but at least if I attempt that freeze and I'm not quite right, I'll probably get another shot at the same shot. So this one, if she decides after this, if it doesn't work out real well, that she has to draw, then she's got just one crack at it, or she's giving up a crooked number. Big weight by Jolene Campbell. Almost really good. Just had to hit a little thinner. Doesn't really have to hit this, but...
No, it doesn't have to, but where else are you going to put it? It is a dangerous stone, too. I mean,
yeah,
Jolene could come around it or tap it back. I don't think you have to worry about rolling underneath, though. Like, if you hit it right on the nose, because rocks don't stop on a dime,
yeah,
I think you're biting.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty good spot right there. You come around, like, if you ever end up half underneath, like, over-roll it and end up half underneath, rather than play the freeze on the other side, she might just come around these.
Yeah. So Miyu Ueno now. Going to get a roll. Will it stay? It will.
That works. It rolled past the guard, but that means if Jolene was to try to come around it, at least she's got the yellow that she could run back, or she could chase if it's not buried that well. So she's back to having to play that freeze.
Yeah, I guess she could come around the red. It's I don't know which one I would prefer if I had to take a guess at this. Yeah, maybe a little tiny bit more flexibility with the come around as far as the weight goes.
Yeah, well, to make the shot, it's just even if you make it perfect, she's got a way to get it out because she's got the short little runner.
Yeah.
You make this one, it's real tough to get it out. You might actually get the force out of it, and because she might try something, you know, it's a risk reward thing. If she thinks there's any chance to get it out, she might try something, miss it. You could actually get a steal out of this.
Yeah. Massive shot here in the first end for Jolene Campbell.
Yeah, must win for her.
Yeah.
Ueno could clinch a playoff spot with a win here, but again, even if she loses at 1 and 2, she's going to go into that lottery list of teams that are going to rely on their draw to the button to see whether or not they make the playoffs, the 16-team playoffs.
I don't ever see anybody recording the distances on the draw to the button because the teams do the measuring on that themselves. So I don't know exactly how that works, but they must write it down somewhere.
Yeah, they will, but we don't have it. It's interesting. I have seen it now finally at national stages. I noticed it was on the Curling Canada site for the Olympic trials. But given that it is she cuts out the one stone, but it's still going to be a draw for 3. Given how big the draw to the button scores are as for tiebreakers nowadays, I'm surprised that no one has developed a way to yet record it on all these websites, because for the, let's call it the numbers geeks who watch, and there's a lot of us out there, like it's when you start looking at the standings and the hammer efficiency, all these, there's so many numbers that are involved in the stats for curling, and it's fun to look at them sometimes. It would be nice to have those numbers, especially in an event like this where there could be, man, I didn't even count up how many, could be 10 teams at 1 and 2, and maybe 4 of them are going to get into the playoffs. Well, it would be nice to know. Like that's essentially the standings. Yeah. More so than the wins and losses.
Yeah. No, I would agree with you, and especially if you are broadcasting the event as we're doing here, it's we know, and we can talk about that a little bit, and that's important to people watching. Like, it's nice to know if you're watching, if your team that you're cheering for does have a chance or doesn't have a chance. This might be too heavy. Can't quite see, but it will hang on. So big 3 here, and end number 1 for Miyu Ueno from Karuizawa, Japan. You're watching RBC, Dominion Securities, Western Showdown on Curling Stadium. We'll be back right after the break.
Brett, come on, man. I know Aztec's #1 for online safety training, but we really should be out here practicing.
I know, guys. I'll be right there. Just let me finish this course on gas detection. Wait. Do you smell that?
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
Halfway through, say, what are you doing here? So Jolene Campbell drops a big 3 here in end number 1. Going to have to get a little aggressive here, Sean, to get back in this right early.
Yeah.
Going up with the corner for starters.
makes the strategy decisions easier, really, for both teams. You see Ueno brings the first stone into the top of the 4-foot. That's a well-positioned stone. We've seen over the course of the weekend a lot of those early attempts go deep.
Yeah,
I would have thought she would have thrown, even here in the second end. I'm surprised she threw on the guard here on the second. I thought she'd come right in.
Me too. Sulakina. Won't be real disappointed if it does slide in. And she's going to stop. It does stop. As far as the guard goes for that situation, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it is. It probably even prevents the corner freeze attempt, because you can't risk rubbing that on the way by. You push it off the center line. That's
right.
That's a no tick zone violation. So they're going to come around the corner.
So this is Dana Demons.
Boy, there's been such good movement to the corner all weekend long. Look at that go.
Nice shot, nice curl.
Yeah.
Nice help by Silvernagel.
Now the benefit to that nice curl to the corner is, as much as that rock looks pretty well buried, you can chase it.
Yeah.
You can chase it with enough weight to get it out. She does have to be a little careful. This is still just the 5th stone of the end, so that guard out there is still a free guard.
Yeah, if you hit it hard enough, it'll go out.
Well, if you're trying to make the rock and the rings go away, if you're hitting a rock that's 8 feet higher than that, you still got a lot of weight on your shooter.
Yeah. Well, first step happened, made a buy, but not by very much. Gets more than half of the stone. Nice throw. Would like to roll a little differently than that if you're going to roll, but
Yeah, I think the original call was try to hit it actually a little bit thinner and roll under the yellow.
yeah.
It's left to double.
Yeah, those ones probably just a little too good to leave, even though you are down 3 points. You still got to make sure you don't play yourself into too much trouble here. You'd like to be able to at least score. And hopefully 2.
Yeah, too good to leave, and also the double is going to leave you in a pretty good spot. It's not even critical to get the second one out. You could hit the first one a little bit thick, just nudge the second one, but that's just not the way they planned to hit it.
No. I didn't think it was set up a way that you could hit both rocks quite that thin and roll out. But she does, so that's unfortunate. Does remove both yellows.
Yeah, she was looking to hit the first one thick, come across, and as I was about to say, even if she hits the first one too thick and then doesn't get the second one all the way out, her shooter should have been behind cover. So
yeah, that would have probably been the preferred shot, really. I mean, no, that's not what they were playing, but I would think that I would prefer that to making the double. The double was going to leave you at least open.
Yeah, well, now with rolling out, there's the opportunity to peel that corner guard, because we're past the free guard zone now.
Yep.
If you were really greedy here, you'd peel the corner guard, come across and clip your own, and there'd be nothing left in play.
Yeah. Got rid of the corner. Ended up with sort of a tweener guard here. Somewhere between center guard and a corner guard.
Yeah, still something Jolene can work with, though.
Exactly, yeah. I don't know you have the luxury of playing that, so.
Well, I get what she's looking at. You could, if you're going to play the tight center guard off, what Jolene was talking about is roll to a corner on the other side, because Ueno can't likely peel both of them, although she might give it a go, slashing the yellow towards the tight red. But that tight yellow could be a problem later on. I do agree with you though, Jim. I don't think you can worry about that right now. You have to play some offense first, and then hope that when that shot gets attempted, it's missed. This is not going to get by the guard either.
Thought she might come around that on the outside, actually, but just looked a lot more difficult than.
It's not a horrible result because it pushes the corner guard back to a more traditional position.
Yeah.
And she's still got 2 other guards, albeit almost overlapped too close to the center line. That's not ideal.
So Ueno looking to flip the script here and go offense.
I think she's decided there's just too many guards to peel now, so we better get a good one in first.
Yeah.
And by doing that, she can force Campbell to have to play defense in an end where she wants to play offense.
Yeah. Looking for the bump here. Not going to get a bump. I thought she just heavy. A little bit heavy.
Yeah,
that's big for Campbell. It'd be nice if she got it out at this point, but she didn't. Only really matters if she get forced or not.
Yeah, at this point in time, she's probably not really worried about that. If you're thinking about trying to score, that little stone you could jam on might help you later on too.
Yeah. So Robin Silvernagel, their first here in the second end.
This isn't getting by either, and it's light.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not a good shot. Not close, really, for Wade at all.
Each team trying to come around their own tight guard.
Yeah. So Miyu Ueno now will try again with her final rock here in the second in to be the first in. Not usually quite this hard to be the first in, but good she was first in the last shot, but only by an inch. So I don't know, it looks like it's going to go over curl. And it could use a little more weight as well.
Yeah, if she makes it in, it won't be any more than just.
No. Well,
if she didn't
struggle for draw weight here.
Yeah, if she didn't rub, she would have been 12 foot, but just 12 foot.
Jolene Campbell now looking at changing it up. I still think she should go out and play that out turn come around. Same shot she just played.
Yeah, I think what she's scared of right now is you make a good come around that Yellowstone that was just delivered.
Yeah.
It's not overlapped to anything. It's going to be a fairly, I mean,
theoretically
you always hate to say run backs are easy, but the teams at this level make them so often these days. And then there's 3 guards across. Like once it's made, a little problem with the landing gear.
Yeah. She'll sneak it by, maybe not.
Well, didn't sneak it by enough. Like
no,
she wanted to hit that more on the angle.
Yeah, she won't be happy with that.
I don't think you can straight guard this though. Straight guard this, Jolene either comes around or again, we were just talking about short run backs. Like it's an angle, but there's only 1.5 feet between those stones. You guard this, she makes the angle. You're now guarding her shot stone.
Yeah, I don't see her guarding. I see her bumping.
That's what I like. Or come around. You could come around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't love the guard.
Oh, she's gonna Hey, no, she is going to call a guard. I'm surprised by this too as well. Not to mention, you just played a bunch of intern shots down there. I don't know why you wouldn't go intern with whichever shot you were playing here.
Well, and what this will do as well, and I don't think Jolene's going to play the angle runner. I think she's going to try to come around. Well, if she makes it, you've now guarded up your short run back.
Yeah. See if she has any better luck on this outturn side.
This looked narrow to me.
Yeah.
She's liable to drastically over curl here. They're hoping it stops now, but they don't usually stop when they're crossing center. They walk pretty good to the corner.
Yeah, she's just light enough, I guess, to make it half work, but she is not in a position to be able to use that rock bite in the 8-foot now.
Nope, for sure.
Jolene looking to kind of break a streak of about 4 misses in a row here, though. They need to make one. It's hard to tell on Robbins. Robbins, certainly first one that was quite light, curled a lot. Second one, she had a little bit of wobble there, but it was a little different shot. I think this is going to curl pretty good.
I expect it'll finish, but that's we were talking about it, you and I, Jim, but before the game, what I've been finding on the ice in the games that I've played is we're not seeing them take the 5 feet of ice that we see in a lot of surfaces. They're still getting good finish. It's maybe a little colder out there, so it'll run straight early, but big movement at the end, and she could definitely get it buried. This maybe just a little wider than they would have gone in the draw to the button path, and we're only in the second end, so the weight might be a bit of a question here yet. It's not when you don't have to go out as wide for draw to the button. This wider path might not be as broken in just yet.
Girls are working hard here, but I don't know if she's going to get by.
I don't think she got the weight if she does.
So struggle continues a little bit for Team Campbell here. In fairness, that is a difficult shot, and didn't learn enough from Robbins. Robbins was so light that it didn't tell you 100% what you were going to have to do to make that draw for weight.
The weight could have been, she had to go wider now too, because that rock's a little farther over, and it's possible that they had a brief discussion, but it's a guess, and anytime you're going out into stuff you haven't thrown in, that's the one thing when we see the ice that curls 5 feet these days, you don't see as much of that because the whole sheet gets broken in during practice because you had to go that wide.
Yeah.
Well, that's the only really significant difference here, where they're only putting down the broom with 3.5 feet to get to the button. When you have the wider path doesn't get broken in early. Now it will as the game goes on, as you see shots like this. But the first couple of times you have to go out there, there's going to be some questions about the weight. Questions here about the weight too. She kind of needs to make the rings out of this. If you don't get rings, Jolene does have the red onto yellow, and there's actually a chance the second red would spill into the rings. So it just because she doesn't have a rock in the rings now doesn't mean there's no shot necessarily for 2. If you get this into the rings, she can't try that. It's not gonna. You come up anywhere short though, she might.
Yeah, I know at this level you shouldn't be thinking, well, I got to throw it hard enough. I can't leave it short, but I'd be thinking that right now if it was me, because it's just between 2 shots that didn't reach the rings.
Yeah, you were happy with that's way tight. That's a mile inside. Already on the guards. That. Well, she had broom out at the edge of the 12-foot. She did not get out to the edge of the 12-foot. Well, she's got a shot for 2 now, yeah.
Yeah, not a good throw there if I'm Ueno. Surprising. So Campbell now, kind of out of nowhere, thought she'd be looking at 3 or 4 when she threw her last shot. She's looking to draw for 2. But would not want to score this in. Not score a board, percentage score this in. There has not been much made. Yeah, you're right. She obviously didn't get out to the stick there. It almost looked like they were playing come across the face and tap the yellow up, but they wouldn't have done that with that broom. I don't know why you would have done that anyway, but. So Jolene Campbell now with her final rock here in end number 2 and an opportunity for a 2-ender.
Yeah, still having to go just a little bit wider still to get around your first one. This might be one where if you've got it in your repertoire, throw a little extra rotation.
Yeah.
And because they can carry it a little farther and it'll hold a little straighter early. This looks like it's got better line.
This is going to be good. Oh, maybe not. Will she get it? It will. It will hang on, I think. Yes, so all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Jolene Campbell comes up with a 2. Pretty happy she made that last one. Feel a little bit better about that, and she will be within 1, down 3-2 after 2 ends of play here at the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. We'll be back right after the break.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of...
So back, and Jolene climbed back into that one with a 2 in the second in, right back in the game now.
Yeah, it was... she might have had a chance for 2 anyway if she doesn't make the rings with that last one with a little angle slash and maybe get a split out of it too, but she wasn't certainly, I don't think, expecting to have a draw for 2 after her first one came up short.
No. So we'll see if both teams get back on track a little bit in this end. They've been struggling a little bit, and they had to make some shots and that took them into places on the sheet that they weren't quite going to get what they want. They got just enough that they didn't move it off the line.
Yeah, back to what you were just saying, though, it will make things interesting, in future ends if they have to go wide on that side again. It won't be as heavy out there anymore as it was just now. Even Jolene's second one, it almost slid too far. It only takes a couple of rocks to break that down, especially when you had to sweep a couple of them.
Yeah.
And of course, I always like to make apologies for the skips because I like to have those apologies for myself. Yeah. When it's the skip throwing that first one out there, you try to talk about the weight and say, well, it's just like the first stone in practice. Well, I didn't throw the first stone in practice. I threw the seventh stone in practice. It was already broken down by the time I threw.
Yeah. So a very nice shot there. By lead stone Dana Demmons. Sasala Kenai now. Yeah, pretty good shot there, too. Finding a little bit more curl than we've seen, or at least that I've seen.
Most shoots that I've seen so far this weekend tend to have one side that curls a little more than the other.
Yeah.
But still, much of it is late. Like this will run straight here. And as it starts to slow down, it'll still bite and curl across. And these stones, again, they're not dull because I've seen so many rocks as they're coming into the house, especially the ones with the bigger rotation. As they're just about to come to a stop, you'll see them take a spin and kick over. And that just doesn't happen with dull rocks. So you really have to be alert. You've seen a lot of teams Johnny on the spot to get those spins into the house because it's happening with these rocks. These rocks are quite lively for those spins. It's fun to watch.
So Campbell left a double for Team Ueno here.
Probably can't make it and hold the shooter, I don't think.
No, I agree. I think it's going to be very difficult to do that. Although they do not have to hit a whole lot of that one in there.
She's not getting the double.
She's not going to get the double either. Yep.
Left her shooter in a really good spot, though. Jolene probably has to deal with it. Can't leave it right there.
Yeah.
Boy, that's a tough freeze. And even if you do, she's still got the slash on the yellow. I think you need to move that yellow. You don't have to kill it, but I think you have to chisel in off it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that call.
So this looks like about a, I don't know, what, back 8, back 12 shot by the way she tapped. I think she's not looking very much more.
No, at the most. Like even back 4.
Yeah.
You need to get this behind the red, and you need to roll over so that they can't get at all of it.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be very far behind the red, though. If you're splitting the T line after this, it's a rock you could come off of later on.
Yeah. Rachel Erickson.
Looks close.
Yeah. Be real close. Moved it back into the 8 foot. Very nicely done. Well,
I think it's time to peel guards.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. I didn't know if she was going to, but
she wants to come red over the top of the yellow out. You could also make a case for the double peel. Might be easier to make. You hit the yellow first, clip the back end of the red.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Here's the thing. If I'm Ueno, if we only make a single peel here, the one I want to get rid of is the yellow, because she's already got the angle on that side.
Yeah.
If you just peel the red one, the angles that are left in the house actually favor Jolene.
I'm not quite sure what they're lining up in the house.
Well, yeah. She's looking at trying to run it back, but that's just too risky. You hit it. I think that's what she was talking about. You hit it to the, as we look at the front view of the house. You drive it to the right side of that redstone, good. You drive it to the left side of that redstone, bad.
Yeah. So here comes what looks like the double peel attempt anyway.
Yeah.
Thin, very thin. Kenai working it.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
Greedy bonus.
Yeah, she
knew the yellow in the rings.
Yeah, she sort of knew what she was doing, I think, after all that. That was a great shot, though. That was not easy to do. And like you say, the bonus of getting the yellow one into the circles is she'll take that.
Yep. As long as she made both guards go away, she was always going to be in good shape. But when you get the bonus rock into the rings, it's now Jolene has to be real careful. And it looks like the decision she's making is we need to play offense. And you can kind of see what she's thinking. Like you play either one of those open yellows, you got no guards left to hide behind, and you're one, maybe 2 shots away from giving up another big end. You guard, at least you force Ueno to still try to make something, and maybe you get some kind of jam. If she just straight peels the guard, maybe she kills one of those shrapnel yellows for you. We're talking about what other options there might be, and I'm not seeing a lot.
No.
With no guards out there at all, the angles in the house definitely favor Ueno. She can see enough of that yellow now to just kill the red off the top of the forefront if she needed to. On the other side of that, the red-yellow at the top, even if you played it, if you're Jolene, I think it's still clipping the red stone in the forefoot. And she can't afford to be losing a lot of her own rocks with those 2 yellows sitting in a 12-foot and the 8-foot at the back. If you guard, what do you guard though? You kind of have to guard the yellow, but then the red-yellow might make both reds go away.
Yeah. Yeah, I think right now it's set up. If it was Ueno throwing now, I think she's hitting the red one to sit 4. 3 for sure. And both reds out.
Yeah.
Big decision, but go ahead.
Guard the red one though. She's got the play on the yellow one to sit 2, maybe 3, because that yellow at the back is his 3rd shot. It's not going. The one at the front obviously doesn't go, and your shooter, when it rolls across, might stay for 3rd, and then you would have guarded the shot rock. So I don't think you can guard the red one. I think if you're guarding, you have to guard the yellow one.
Very delicate situation. I think it's they've settled on the guard, but I guess the only other thing is, like you say, you could, if you wanted to, you've either got to play the guard or you've got to play with a hit on one of the yellows in the back, and then you're going to be giving up a pretty easy opportunity for Ueno as well. So it's a really difficult situation. So Robin Silvernagel.
I don't even see any way you could jiggle these. I think they're still playing the guard, but of course after they have a group discussion, they're not going to point at what they're playing. So
yeah.
But that's what I was looking for as well. Is there any way you could even jiggle these to make it better? And I'm not sure there is. I just don't see anything. They got to keep this moving. It needs to cross center a little bit. Well, it's probably still there if she wants to try it.
Yep. She's going to play the run back.
Yeah, I wouldn't be playing this. Yeah,
No.
I'm either directly chasing the yellow or I'm just straight peeling this because she's got to put it back.
Yeah. Sort of in out of this a little bit.
And that's the exact side you couldn't hit it on. That's why you don't play that shot. It was why they didn't play it on the previous attempt. Now suddenly it's a steal opportunity.
Wow.
You're guarding the steal now.
Yeah. You're sitting 2.
Yep.
Yeah, nothing about that shot was good.
There was no reason to play it. There was
No.
The reward wasn't all that substantial, even if you made it.
Yeah. And you're driving red on red, and your yellow's going to go. Yeah. They would have to explain that one to me a little bit. Silvernagle now looking to, rather than guarding for their lives, as you mentioned, guarding this possible potential steal here.
Yeah, they've got shot rock on the button. It's already half behind the second shot stone in the 8 foot. This is questionable too.
Yeah, I think you should be, if you're going to peel, I'd play the double peel.
Yeah, well, this is one. It's it's great if you make it, but if you don't make it, they're still buried. Like this guard's not actually covering anything.
Yeah.
So if you happen to not make contact, even if you just pick the top one out and roll away, it's still not much better because she's already got one guard. She's going to just throw a second one. Nothing out of the brush yet.
Okay.
Yeah. Gets herself out of a little trouble. Yeah, as long as you make the shot.
Yeah. Sometimes making the shots from a learning point of view is the worst thing can ever happen, isn't it?
Yeah, like it's an outstanding shot. It's still probably not the right shot to have called because you ever miss this and you're in all kinds of trouble.
Yeah.
It does flip it again, though. We were looking at, Jolene's in all kind of trouble. Then she's maybe got a chance to steal. And now, she's still, it's not going to be any worse than 2 now. The question is, how far do you try to roll with this one? And that's what they're talking about. Like, it's a short roll to get behind the red, but that red guard's awfully long. The chase might still be there. You go all the way across to behind the yellow. There's probably a chase there. She could, if she had to, probably make the double, but then you're not buried. I'm not sure what they settled on, but you saw them talking about how far they wanted to roll.
Yeah.
I think you have to try to be buried on one of these 2 guards. They're both fairly long. There might be a chase around either one of them.
Yeah, I don't know how far they decided on either, but
I hope they decided on one, because if you go down to the hacks thinking, well, we got to get one of these rolls, that's typically when you roll right in between the guards.
Yeah.
You have to make a firm decision on what you're playing.
Jolene Campbell with her first here. Trying to get a little bit of a roll. Won't get anything. Roll the wrong way, actually. A little bit.
Yeah, I think if you're hitting this, nose hit's the way to go. And then Jolene's going to have to make another decision. Are we just trying to roll behind cover, or do you play? It's a long double, but, I mean, this one will be high enough up in the rings. You can definitely make a run at it if you wanted to. I can tell you for sure Jolene can throw the weight to make that double.
Yeah, for sure. What I do know is these teams are not even playing the same game you and I are thinking we're playing, so it's they definitely call their own variety of shots.
She did call for the nose hit here. Like, I don't think you want to roll under, because if you ever roll half under, then she just comes around.
Yeah.
Half under is basically a second guard, and it would be a staggered guard. So you hit this right on the nose. The guards aren't really good enough for Jolene to draw her way out of trouble. So she's going to have to hit something now. She might hit this one and try the double. She might hit the other one and try to roll behind the yellow guard to the back 8.
So Ueno will get the nose hit she's looking for.
And if you're going to hit that one, you almost have to try the double, because I don't think you could roll in off that and be shot rock. Well, maybe if you roll all the way across to underneath the yellow guard.
Yeah, you probably would be then, but...
To roll under the red, I think you're still too high in the house.
I think you're right. Well, I think you are for sure. Unfortunately for Jolene, she doesn't have much choice here but to play this hit anyways, and hopefully manage to...
Well, if you're not playing a double, she could hit the other yellow stone and try to roll behind the yellow corner. It's a shorter roll to make sure you've got shot rock. I didn't see them take a look at the, usually they'll walk out to the front and line up how much do we need to hit if you're playing the double. They didn't do that. Does she think she can, she is playing the out turn here, so it will gear down a little bit. Maybe she thinks she can roll under the red stone and still be shot rock. With that weight, I would say she's playing for the double.
Jolene Campbell's final one here in the third end, looking for a double. She's really close. Really close. Oh, so close. That was a great effort for Jolene Campbell. Had the right idea with the turn and the weight and all that. Just didn't quite catch enough of that back one. So a draw for 2 now for Ueno and get their 3-point lead back.
First team to get held to a single in this game might be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, maybe so, yeah. So, Miyu Ueno now. And turn draw. Might need some help. I think she's going to be fine.
Yeah, she's into the quickest spot on the ice.
Yeah. And Team Ueno will pick up 2 here in end 3 and take a 5-3 lead into the 4th end when we return after the break.
Hey Mark, you ready for this game tonight?
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Cupsy, what are you doing over there?
Don't worry, boys. Was just on AztecSafety.com, took a fire extinguisher safety course. Paul, I'm putting out the fires from now on. Woo!
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan. Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
So 3 hands down here at the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. Final bracket round, or round robin round. Portion of our event is on now, with Jolene Campbell needing a victory to have any opportunity of advancing to the playoffs. And Miyu Ueno looking to secure a victory at 2-1. And an opportunity to be sure that she would be in the playoff round. So,
yeah, she could guarantee a playoff spot. Hard to know for sure. I was looking at that. I've been looking at every commercial break trying to do the math on that one, and it's tough. That's why I this format's kind of fun when you like looking at numbers. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams, I think, already in that they're sitting at 2-1 and would be part of that next top 2 teams after the pool winners. So there's 5 teams already in the hunt for 2 spots. If Ueno picks up the win here, she'd be 1 more, and there are 2 1-1 teams facing off on another sheet. So there could be as many as 7 teams that finish at 2-1, and 2 of them would advance to those page 1-2 games that we were talking about. 5 of them would drop into the 3-4 games, which would mean that there are still 3 spots available to 1 and 2 teams, which is where Jolene Campbell comes in. There's still going to be some 1 and 2 teams that make the playoffs, and it's going to be all determined by draw to the button, that cumulative score. And of course, we don't have those stats, so we don't know who's sitting in a good shape.
And for Jolene Campbell to have any opportunity, she needs to win this one. Yeah.
Yeah, hers is a little more clear cut. We have to win, and then we'll worry about draw to the button.
Yeah, we'll have to look into that. Maybe there's a way that we can, for future events, when they're going to use draw to the button as an indicator of in and out sort of thing, then maybe we can get that information.
Yeah, I expect it's coming. We talked about it a little bit during one of the commercial breaks. It's just, the Scoreboard software, when it was initially set up, didn't incorporate a way to record that. But it's becoming so important now that, somebody just needs to spend the money, quite frankly, likely to add a way to put that in there, because it'll be recorded at the host site. It's probably even posted. I've seen a lot of these fields where they'll post it on the wall, handwritten, between draws. There just needs to be a place to put it in the online scoring system, and then it's there for everybody to see. The number geeks that enjoy watching that. To me, that's the best thing. As a player, I never liked these small pool round robins.
No.
Because there's just not enough time to separate the teams. But as an announcer and as a fan, it is sure interesting to watch all the possibilities, the combinations, the what ifs for the tiebreaker scenarios. It's just it's great for the fan. It's just nerve-wracking as a player.
Yeah. Rachel Erickson now.
Doing a little cleanup. Very little cleanup, just the guard.
Yeah, Campbell with some work to do in this end. She does have a hammer, but not off to the greatest start.
I will say for the event as a whole, and that was another one where that hit over curled. For ice that seems to be maybe just a little bit straighter, they're taking less ice than what we're used to. I've noticed far more hits that have been missed on the over curl side than the under curl, which is surprising most of the time anyway, because these hits, as you add weight, they don't usually curl very much.
No. This one's got to stop curling.
Robin had stayed down there. They've talked about this one. Are you double peeling? Are you running the red back? Looks like she's thinking about the double peel. The problem with this and the hesitation on this, you make the double peel, even if you run it back into the yellows, make everything perfect. You've only got one guard left to work with, and if this rolls out, they might just peel that guard.
So Erickson with her final stone here. Well,
that's really good.
Yeah, that's a great shot. Yeah,
and the most important part of that is the stone that got brought back into the rings. It seems like a bonus, but they really needed it to stay, because if that rolls out, she can just walk up and peel the corner guard.
Yeah, gonna have one more look at this. It's not easy to make happen. She was actually just what, a half an inch away from making the double.
Yep.
So Miyu Ueno now.
Just counting stones in the corner myself. This is one where you almost might want to hit this right on the nose. That's kind of counterintuitive. You think you might want to separate the rocks, but if you roll out of the 4-foot, Jolene's probably just going to hit the rock in the 4-foot, roll towards the corner. She's not going to worry about anything that's on the side of the 8-foot. That's not better. At some point in time, Jolene still needs to think about offense. Now shot rock's behind the tee line, and she's got a chance to tap this back. She can ignore the shot stone for now.
Which is kind of what she's doing now. She's going to come down, tap that one back a little bit. Probably can't get underneath just yet, but...
Yeah, can't really get underneath unless you cross it, which is not horrible. I mean, if you cross this and tap it back towards the other yellow and leave a pocket, that's not bad either.
No.
Looks like this has got to curl a lot just to get the straight back that they were looking for. Chip it behind the tee line and roll in front of the other one's not bad either. Not too far for that.
Yeah.
Still better, though, that now if she comes around that corner guard, because it is a long corner guard, the chase is going to be available. But that yellow that's hanging on the edge of the 12-foot is a jam possibility.
So Ueno with her final one here, just clarifying what they're trying to do.
Doesn't want to leave them close enough together to be a pocket. That's all you can worry about now. Everything's behind the tee line now. It's not a force or it's not a steal situation anymore. This is straight for the force, and you just can't leave her anything to bail out. A pocket would be something she could bail out with. That's not ideal either.
So good opportunity here for Jolene Campbell to utilize these rocks that are at the back, or at least one of them. Erickson working pretty hard on this.
Yeah, they'd like to be all the way down to it if they could. Lined up to it's the most important thing, but well, it's got to make the rings.
Yeah.
Well, it's not the end of the world there, because peeling it's tough. There's a jam possibility. And now, if you leave her another chance to make that freeze to the back one, that tight guard is protecting it as well. So she's looking at throwing some kind of draw to choke that off. Not sure what all the other discussion is about. It is I think this is all Yui is concerned about, but I can't see what she's concerned about. If you draw this a piece around the red one, she may be worried that the red run back is there and you'd be guarding it, maybe.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know. It's almost like she will call it there, but I'm afraid if I don't make it right, I could make it worse. It's just like, so she's going to go open side, 4 foot, edge of 4 foot, somewhere in that neighborhood. But I don't see Jolene doing anything other than coming around that red one.
She's going to freeze to that back one anyway.
Yeah.
And then if you make it again, she's going to come off the one you're about to throw now to get her shot for 2.
Yeah. So the draw to the tee line basically on the here. Looking a little heavier than that. Oh, not too bad. Well, it did what she called.
Yes, it did. I'm still not seeing how that helps, but...
No, I hear you.
If anything, I guess being a little deeper helps her because just play this through. Jolene makes the freeze perfect. Probably all you can do is follow it down. And now the rock you just threw is too deep to play off of it to double out the stone you're going to throw in the next one.
So Jolene Campbell facing 4, but 4 rocks that are all behind the tee line, and if anything, of good use for Jolene Campbell team.
Yeah, if she locks the freeze on the face here, she's probably not shot rock. So she still has to deal with that one on her next one, but I don't know where you can throw your last one where she's either not going to have a shot at that back one or a shot at a double if you're coming in again. She has to lock this on first.
Yeah.
Sweeping for the last bit of curl. She's close.
I get but a pretty nice shot overall.
Yeah, she's got shot rock, but left more space than she would have liked. However, it's awfully thin to try to pick it.
Yeah, I agree.
She could probably get to the nose and just try to take it off the yellow. She's even talking about trying to roll under, which means she's going to be throwing some quieter weight at it, which, I don't mind that just because they could do more with it with the brushing that way. She's got to get at least to the nose if she's if she's thinking about hitting it that way. You can take it off the yellow is fine.
Yeah.
This does look easier to me. I mean, as much as you got to flirt with that red guard, this looks easier than trying to pick it clean. You ever jam it and it's an open hit for 2.
Yeah.
The thing about this quieter weight is if she jams it with this, you probably still have to, like, if it doesn't come up to where they're looking for and she jams it and rolls into the forefoot, somehow or another Jolene still needs to make a double and stay to get 2. Not sure what the question was about there.
No, the only thing I think is maybe when she got to the end, she could see more or less or something than what she thought she could.
Well, the question seemed to be coming from the hack end. Or the house end, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think they're wondering, and I'm not sure why it matters, I think they're wondering if they jam it, who's going to be second shot. Because that's a valid question, too. If she jams it because her shooter's going to roll in just a little bit, she might stay in front of the red even if she jams it.
Well, I do know she can't do all of those things.
Nope.
Right. It's good that we see all that, but
she's talking about draw weight, tap it almost.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm thinking too.
And sit 2 in the forefoot, because if it's frozen on the yellow, as we said, even when Jolene was playing the draw in the first place, she still only would have been second shot. So if you tap it frozen, you're sitting shot in second, and any double attempt has to go towards this red. Mind you, depending on how well it's frozen on there, yes, it goes towards it, but the red's not going anywhere because the yellow's right behind it. The key here is she's going to be sitting 2 in, assuming she makes it, she's going to be sitting 2, and it's going to be an awkward double because it's going to be very thin.
Yeah, it's looking at the overhead, it's probably not hard to sit 2. As long as it doesn't overcurl, but I felt like they were trying to get to the other side of almost. In which case you might jam it and have red have an open hit for 2. Anyway, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Maybe. There we go.
We're not convinced. It doesn't look like she is either. She stood up and went to the other end once. She stood up now, taking just a sliver less ice. If you get to the nose on this, I don't think you're second shot.
Well, I know that's the...
This is a lot of weight for just tapping.
Yeah.
She's thin enough to get it over the top? Nope. Well, the double is as thin and awkward as you could make it, but it's there. Do you have to try it?
I don't know. I'm not convinced. You think you hit this thin enough to make the double? You don't. The yellow doesn't go on your red. It's close, eh?
Yeah. I mean, they always come back a little more than you think. There's the other
way. Hit it on the high side.
Yeah.
Because both yellows, with not too much weight.
Yeah,
both yellows
quiet.
Yeah, and your shooter probably can hang out there, almost bite the forefoot. In which case you'd be fine. And I don't know what she's decided.
I think that looks like she's going to hit it on the nose and take her 1.
Well, that's I would have seen them looking a little bit harder at the possibility of the high side hit for the high side double, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be a long one if this one goes a distance. Lots of conversation so far.
Mm-hmm.
Jolene used to play third for somebody, didn't she, for a long time? Sean, I remember back before she kind of took a break that I remember things liked her game and all that, but I think it was as a third. I don't think it was as a skip.
Well, my short answer to that is I don't think she played a long time for anybody. She has played third. She's played skip. The last time I think I remember playing third, I want to say it was with Amber, but I'm not positive.
Okay.
She might have played third once since then.
Yeah. So it's on its way. We're figuring it's just a nose hit attempt for one, although I don't know if that it is right now. Yep. So a very nice throw, though, for Jolene Campbell, and she will pick up her single here in end number 4. Continue to trail. She'll be down 5-3 when we come back after the break.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
So halfway down on this one. Hope you're enjoying it. It's been a different kind of game. It's probably been a few more misses, to be honest, than we normally have in games, but that also sometimes makes for interesting games. So
yeah, certainly more misses than you'd expect at this point in the event. Both teams playing their third game, so you see it a little bit in the first game when everybody's still figuring the ice out. But I said half jokingly at the end of the third that the first team that gets forced to one might be in trouble, and here you see it. Jolene gets the single point in the fourth. She's now down 2 without.
Yeah.
She's in a bit of trouble.
Yes, you're right. They're getting a little closer, though, on shots, so that's a good thing.
That last draw just biting the back of the 12-foot, certainly not where they wanted it.
No.
That's been the unusual thing. I talked about that a bit last end, too. What I've seen this weekend, and I don't know, Jim, you can speak to this, too, what you've seen for the misses, it tends to be weight on the draws, and I've seen them both light and heavy all weekend long. So there might be a little bit of, it might rely on the path you get down. It might be a little streaky as far as the path. If you get outside the path you want, the weight's going to be drastically different. But for hits, it's been more over curls than under curls on ice where they're not taking a ton of ice, which is surprising. You'd expect kind of the other thing, the other side of it, when it's running straight, that they make more broomside misses. But
yeah, I would agree. I think I've seen more leads, draws end up at the back of the house than at the front of the house. That's for sure, and I don't know why that is. You would expect not that to be the case.
I've seen plenty of come-arounds come up short.
Yeah.
So it's maybe if you just don't get quite in the path you were expecting to be on, the speed's different. It's not always the thrower, because sometimes they didn't sweep them either, and so it's the spot has fooled them a little bit at times.
So despite that rock at the back of the 12-foot, the other three are just about in the exact spot they're supposed to be. So Campbell, as we mentioned, is in need of a victory for sure. And they will have to turn it up a little bit here for the last 4 ends to get that. It's going to end up where they wanted it. Close, like they've been frozen, but I can't figure out, Sean. I don't understand. This is the second time where Ueno has looked at playing and did play one of these run backs that, and here, same thing. I think it looks to me like she wants to hit this one on the wrong side of the red one. I just don't. Sort of where she put the broom down. I thought you can't hit it on that side.
Well, I mean, there is a way to hit this where you could get rid of all three reds. The question that comes to my mind is, you're up 2 with last rock. Do you need to?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, straight peel is fine, to my way of thinking.
Yeah. Campbell will put that guard back up. Sitting in a pretty good position so far, but we're only 2 or 3 rocks in here to the 5th. Erickson. Good shot.
Yeah, critical to leave these guards a little higher now, because you've already seen that Ueno's willing to try these run backs. You close the gap too much, and she makes one of them, and you know, it's like I said, I could see what she's tempted. She wants to get rid of all 3 of them. I don't know that she needs to, but if you put these closer together, it certainly makes that a lot easier to try.
Yeah.
She's actually, that guard's high enough, she's thinking about playing something in the rings. This makes no sense to me.
No.
The guard's still hurting you just because it's long. I mean, that rock in the 12-foot is essentially the tight guard. The long guard guards the tight guard. You can't get to the tight guard. Get rid of the long guard.
Yeah, she doesn't need to make the game this difficult right now. There's a 2-point lead with hammer. Not sitting perfectly in the house, but not sitting that bad in the house. So just get rid of the high guard, or the only guard, really. Technically the only guard. Get rid of that.
The rock in the 12-foot's essentially a guard.
Yes.
I get what she's looking at. Like, if you can chip that over, you can actually leave a double on the reds in the house. Now, your shooter would be in as well. That's a bit of a bonus. Like, you couldn't do that if this was actually a true in front of the house guard. But she brings another biter into the rings where the threat is there for a much bigger end. But I think we're already at the point in the game where Jolene can't worry about that. Like, she's playing this end for a steal. If she happens to give up 4 and it's go home, I think she might be willing to take that risk. They're going to get the peel anyway.
Yeah.
Because this was never close to get. They might actually not hit it off the nose. That was never close to the broom they were playing. Jolene wants to get this behind the other red so there's no double, and it's not going to. That actually helps Ueno a little bit. She's got a rock she could come off of to make the double. So Jolene's got to guard that now.
Just continue to be a bit baffled by some of the misses. That shot, you're thinking, I don't know how you missed that shot with the way you did there. It's so light. I mean, if she... I don't know.
Well, and so far inside.
Yeah.
That from the time she let go, she never had a chance to get by the long guard.
Yeah.
That's
so
the
Robin
second time.
Silvernagle. Yeah. Yeah, I know.
And not the same player, but the second time we've seen him way inside on an out turn.
Robin Silvernagle playing a tight guard now on the one that just got raised into the house, although this has been overcropped.
Yeah, that's not really guarding much of anything. Even if it had just been edge to edge on that, she probably couldn't get enough to the inside to make the double, but I think it's there. Doesn't have to kill the second one, just pop it out from behind the guard even is good.
Yeah.
So you can throw this, hack weight, get to the inside of the open stone, come across, chip the other one into the open.
She got the right idea.
Trying to call her down. I think probably just so that like this is the one thing when you're at the far end of the rink and there's no overhead cameras here. You take a look at our looking into the house, you really can't get a true view of how thin you have to hit the first one because it is full rock's width in front of the second one. Like you hit half a rock, you're probably not touching the second one.
Yeah.
You'll just roll in between the two of them, which isn't necessarily bad either. I don't see you making it with Peel, and I'm guessing when she's tapping the top of her head, that's what she was thinking. It's hard to hit it thin enough with what you can see.
With that
by
much
the
weight,
guard.
yeah.
And you don't have to hit it that hard.
No.
You don't necessarily have to get the second one out. You just need to get it out from behind cover.
Yeah, and I would have thought that she would be on that same wavelength just by the little motions she made where it looked like she was, hit this one just goes to the 8-foot kind of thing. But
well, I think that's why Miyu called her down. If those two rocks were dead even, you definitely could do this with big weight, but they're not. The one she's hitting is a full rock's width in front. You've got to hit this, quarter rock to get onto that second one for sure. Half could go right over the top of it. Now, there's no way to get over the top of it because the yellow one's there, but if you pop this back out and you hit it on the nose, you're actually helping Jolene.
I don't think she's going to make the double.
Not even going to get the nose.
Yeah, another shot that really wasn't in the ballpark of making what they were trying to make there. So for basically it's a basic shot, kind of a wide open hit. Yeah, it's a little bit one rock in the way if you throw it bad, but anyway, good for Campbell right now. She's sitting shot. Just trying to figure out how to.
Nothing's wide enough. Like she'd love to get another one in. That's what she's looking at now. But you hate to put one in a spot that would give Ueno something too. She was also worried about can you get to that yellow with enough weight to play yellow onto red, in which case she might want to guard that side. They talked about it. But you're already sitting good to steal, and you're down 2. Like, if you could bury one, steal a 2's not impossible here. I can definitely see why they want to play this. It's just tough. Like, even with all those rocks in front of this, there's still not really even 2 rocks width to hide behind here. And you got to get behind a rock in the 4-foot. You sure can't afford to rub off of it.
Definitely left the double.
Yeah,
harder than the
for
last
sure.
one. But yeah.
They just got caught in between. You actually needed to put a few more brush strokes on that, bounce off a little harder. And, you know, if you're dead even on those two with 3 inches between them, I don't think she could ever hit it thin enough to make the double. As it is, you make contact with the first one, you're definitely hitting the second one.
So Miyu Ueno now. The chance to make the double here and turn this end around a little bit, although Campbell will still have something to work with. Not narrow on this one. This is going to be pretty good, I think. Well done, good throw. Jolene Campbell now does have what? She's got 3 or 4 guards to work with, though, Sean.
Yeah, and actually, if she takes the same path coming in as Robin just had, she can get buried again.
Yeah, just another quick look at this double.
Yeah, they just left that stone in as bad a spot as they could, and Yui kind of makes up for a stone she didn't throw that well on the last one, makes the double here. Again, Robbins was curling in nicely on the last one. Like if they didn't have their own rock to bump off of, which they unfortunately did, it had nice path to bury, a nice line to bury on this.
Oh yeah, it was
draw.
very good.
So hopefully she was able to go to school on that throw. Boy, they're gonna have to go to get it by. The rock's in the house that really walks from the hog line in.
Just a little light.
And it rubs the yellow.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like it doesn't look like a ton of ice, but when they start to slow down, they still finish hard.
Yeah.
At the hog line, you know, if you haven't been watching all weekend long at the hog line, you thought she had lots of room. Well, and I'm already wondering if she can get by the rocks and the rings. And she didn't. But now, a few feet more weight, she'd have been okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 3 or 4 feet.
But
maybe even down a couple feet.
She could have ended up dead buried behind the yellow the way that was curling.
Yeah.
And it's the farthest one over of the 3 she was coming behind. But
yeah. So Ueno now will try to come around on the out turn. So this out turn just seemed to give this team the most trouble.
Absolutely has to get by too. If you rub off, you could leave a double to sit 3, and then you're drawing for 1. You'd have to go just a little bit wider too.
Miyu Ueno.
I don't think she got out to the broom on this one either. They need this to stop now.
It's not going to do much of anything, I don't think.
The same shot is still there. I mean, even if it rubs off the other yellow, as long as you get to close to what you could see of that red. Your shooter's still going to be partly behind cover, even though it's biting the top of the 8-foot. It'll act as a guard. She doesn't like it. She's going to play the out turn, try to get around that way.
Jolene Campbell needing a good shot here.
Yeah, you're almost into, just because of the way this end has worked out, you're almost into like a must steal scenario, because if you're short here, or long for that matter, there's already one against you and it's going to be a shot for 2. You put this in a good spot to steal and she might not have a shot to score. Everything's overlapped. She's not going to have anything to run in if you can bury this. She's not going to have a ton of room coming by. Not getting by.
No. It's really not that close on weight either. I don't know if it's a little different out there than we think it is or not. I don't think it should be this difficult, but these are not exactly, not like these guys aren't good players, and the whole team's kind of seems to be almost lost as far as draw weight goes.
Well, it also seems like it's a little bit cold out there.
Yeah.
You see a lot of players wearing heavier coats, and a lot of this end was played on the intern side. So you let that half of the sheet sit for half an end, and the speed will change because it cools down again. Whereas you get a spot polished up, it will slide a little better. And then there could be, as I said earlier, there could be some differences in the paths. A foot different in a path, you might be into ice that hasn't been played in a while. And it's just tough. It is one of those things that, teams have to be aware of it and they have to deal with it. But it's a lot to keep track of. Did we throw down this path, this end, or were we a foot inside this path? Is the weight going to be different? And if so, how much? And the teams that can manage that will tend to do better.
Yep.
He's got good line on this, but had to go that much wider still and comes up even shorter.
So, Ueno will get her single here in end number 5 and will regain her three-point lead as we go to break. And here at the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown, you're watching on Curling Stadium. We'll be back right after the break.
Brett, come on, man. I know Aztec's #1 for online safety training, but we really should be out here practicing.
I know, guys. I'll be right there. Just let me finish this course on gas detection. Wait. Do you smell that?
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatchewan in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
It's like 6 inches. So Campbell still well within reach to win in this game. Just got to make some shots and got to definitely generate a deuce here. You don't want to only get 1 point here. It makes it very tough playing the last 2 ends.
Yeah, that first Yellowstone actually helps Campbell a bit. It stopped short of the rings. I have to believe the call was to come in. You don't need guards with a 3-point lead.
Yeah, I think it would be.
So the draw weight struggles continue.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this is not going around it.
No, it's not heavy either.
Well, I gotta get a watch. I gotta figure out this.
Saving grace for Ueno there is at least it bounced off, so there's no overlap.
Yeah.
You know, if Campbell ever got one behind those, it's a short run back. Jolene's still got to be happy. She's got 3 guards here in an end where she's got to try to generate some offense. 6th end, she'd love to get a deuce here. Get a deuce here, force one in 7, and a deuce in 8 ties the game. If you can ever pick up a 3 somewhere along the line, and I mean, that's already happened once in this game, and 3s happen all the time in the 5 rock free guard zone. There's been plenty of rocks in play. There's been opportunities both ways. That's nicely buried.
So Ueno 1 shot away from being able to remove the corner guard. Will play to come around again.
And not quite better weight this time, but didn't get by.
Yeah, so the speed's not bad. That's 14 seconds. That's, you know, lightning fast, but not bad. That would have been, if it doesn't touch anything, that would have been back 4, so it's probably 14 and a half. So it's not necessarily heavy. I thought maybe it was a little bit heavier than they're thinking, but at least in that one spot.
Jolene's not thrilled about it. You could just see her eyeing up those guards. She doesn't like leaving them there, but what do you do? It's not a tough double peel. You have to hold your shooter. I think you can make it either way, to be honest. It looks like they're touching right now. Not critical to get the second one out, just get it off the center line, but I don't think you want to end up guarding the Yellowstone either. Well, maybe not bad if you do it with your own. So if we look at the overhead, if she hits the one on the left side of the center line, and they're just going to go after this one of the rings, you could hit the one on the left side of the center line, just play the hit and roll over to another corner guard, and that's going to rub that yellow one off the center line. Then the center would be open. This rock in the rings, I don't think, is one that she needs to necessarily be worried about. She's hitting it just to force Ueno to play a hit. She doesn't want her having another chance to draw around those guards.
Yeah, exactly.
She wanted to roll to the outside, though. I don't think she wanted to leave her this short of a roll to get behind cover. This is already well inside the nose. Are they going to be able to hold the shooter? Nope.
Jolene Campbell now coming around that corner again. Figured that worked pretty nice. The yellows have got to be a concern, but when you're down 6-3, It's hard to put too much weight on where they are. So
Yeah, no, I don't think you can worry about the yellows. The choice is to either come around the yellows yourself or stack them on the corner, knowing that Ueno is likely going to peel the corner guard, and then you'll just have to replace it for a while. I say likely because she hasn't always done what we assume she should do. You got to bury this, though. You can't leave a double.
Don't bounce off. They've done that at least 3 times today.
Yeah, this one she might have bounced a little farther to where the double is tougher. Like you've got to hit that 2/3 to half a rock, which, you know, it's there. It doesn't look as easy because of where that yellow guard is.
Yeah.
You take half a rock and roll out at this point in time. You just make the reds go away. Half a rock makes the double for sure. You could just also not worry about the double and be still. The hit and roll behind the 2 yellows is there. Kind of looks like with that weight, that's what they're playing.
That's a nice shot, though.
Yep.
Jolene now with not much choice.
Yeah, she can get a lot out of this shot, though. With the 2 of them touching like that, you make the hit, roll over, you can kind of protect your own, and there's a chance it's still coming straight back because it's going to come off the side of the other stone.
Yeah.
You could get both rocks off the center line, perhaps pick that stone out of the 4-foot, and get a second guard on the corner. This is overcurled and jammed, and put another yellow into the rings.
I think Robin Silvernagel has had a bit of a nightmare game for her. Just has not gone well for her. What do you do now if you're in Ueno? Get rid of one of these corners?
My answer to that's going to answer to that's going to be no, and only because I don't see how you get rid of all of the stuff that she's got to hide behind. So maybe it's time to decide we could steal this end. You're not wrong to peel. I mean, you definitely get out of it, but you've got a chance to put some pressure on here, and no matter what you do on this, even if you make the double peel, I got to believe you're staying out there somewhere. Yeah. Jolene's got something to roll behind. She's going to be able to make a play on shot stone now and roll behind either the yellow or probably ideally she rolls past that. Oh, she's looking at straight draw. I don't hate this call either because, you know, Ueno's already indicated she's not going to play the guard on her shot stone. Yeah, she's going to go back to the hit and roll, though. I like the hit and roll. Hit an A roll, but maybe too much.
Yeah.
Well, anything in the 12-foot though. I mean, she's still going to have to make a play on it. She's not going to ignore a stone.
Do you think that was a lot of weight for that shot, Sean? Like, that just seemed like a lot of weight for a situation.
Yeah, likely.
Well, Ueno, I think has to hit the one at the back of the house. I don't even know what they're going to do anymore. So
they're maybe just wondering about, do they hit it right on the nose or try to roll? And you see them talking about a big roll. You don't want to roll buried because it becomes a rock. She just comes half around that yellow, and it's something you have to risk jamming on. honestly, with a 3-point lead as we play the 6, even if she rolls out on this, is probably good. You just, I see the concern and I understand it. And it's good that they thought about it. You know, you roll this to dead buried. Campbell comes around the yellow, the top 12, and even if she's only half around, now how do you get rid of it? Because you've got that rock at the back of the house that could jam on.
So Ueno now looking to remove the one Campbell stone in the rings. Another out turn needs to certainly get out there. I would say that from this angle, that looked like a much better release on that out turn. Very good.
Gets the big roll out into the open. That's ideal. So all you got now, if you're Jolene Campbell, you got to try and draw around that Yellowstone at the top of the 12-foot. And you see them talking about back house. And the reason they're talking back house is to get the separation.
Yeah.
Like, there's enough finish here. She could probably bury around that yellow, still be in the top 4-foot. But then it's only a 3-foot, 4-foot run back. And you just kind of expect those to be made. I mean, might not, but you expect it to be made. So you're looking for more separation. If you make it perfectly to the back of the 8-foot, Ueno's going to freeze to it. But yeah, that's where you find yourself in the scoreboard. You have to take that chance. You want to make her have to play a tough shot. And if she makes it, well, we're going to get forced. But a 3-foot run back is just easier than you'd like to leave her.
Yeah, for sure.
If the guard wasn't so far out, like if you could come wide around the guard and get behind the red one, that might be your best opportunity to have one on the top of the house. The problem is you'd have to go so wide to get past it. It's a guess for both line and weight.
It's Jolene Campbell now. We're still trying to figure out a way to manufacture 2 here. Hence the conversation Sean just had. Needs to get a little more buried.
Yeah, just, needed 3 feet more weight just to have a little bit more travel room to curl. Had the line they were looking for, but just stopped a little too early.
Usually what happens when things are not going well, just you can't seem to buy that little extra break somewhere along the way.
Well, and the other side of that, those shots are always tougher than you think, too, because none of these curlers practice throwing a rock to the back of the 8. It's just not part of your mindset.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So when you actually have to do it, it's hard to wrap your head around it. Mentally, it's just not a shot. You never want to throw that rock there. You throw a rock to the top 12 and let them sweep it to the tee line, but you'd never throw a rock that is almost never throw a rock that's designed to go late. It's certainly not something you practice.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as the high guards for everybody but the lead. The lead throws it all the time. They make it a lot, but then the second has to throw it, and the second's still afraid to hog the stone.
This must be close. And it is. That was actually a good throw for Ueno. And Jolene Campbell, unfortunately, has to take one here. She's got to make it, but when she makes it, she will be looking to have to steal 7, steal 8, steal an extra end, or unless she can steal 2 somewhere, which that does happen.
It does, yeah. But certainly the nicer part of it, or the important part, the part they're going to have to focus on, is that they don't have to steal multiples. They can steal 1 point at a time. I've had to say this a few times this weekend. I haven't seen it work out yet, but sooner or later it's going to. If you only have to steal 1 point at a time, even though you got to do it 3 times in a row, all of these teams out here have done that at some point in time.
Yeah.
And this is good ice for stealing on with the way you can finish around a guard. The free guard zone helps. The no-tick zone helps. But you do have to execute. When you're into must-steal mode, you pretty much have to make your 8 shots.
Yeah. And this one will come rest at the back of the forefoot. Campbell will pick up 1. And after 6 ends of play here at the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown, we go to end number 7. Jolene Campbell trailing by 2 points to Ueno when we return.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at the RockShop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. The RockShop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting 10-fold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of
So Team Ueno now with a 2-point lead. And Hammer here in the end number 7, looking to improve to 2-1 here in Swift Current. Quick reminder that we will be here all day. We have 5 draws, I think it is today, and then we have starting with some kind of playoff stuff going on after this. Can't really tell you exactly yet. Once this finishes, we'll get updated, but.
Yeah, there are going to be tiebreakers, like draw to the button tiebreakers to figure out, to determine who's going to be playing where. But the other thing about the difference in this format is we get into the draws tomorrow. And part of this is because it's men's and women's combined. There's still going to be 4 draws tomorrow. We're only 6 sheets here, so they can't play all the quarterfinals at the same time. That's a good broad look.
Oh, right, yeah.
Wanted that to stop for a guard. It slid into the rings. Now you could make a play on it. You got to be real careful not to touch the long guard. It's in the no tick zone as well. She's not even going to look at it. She's just going to come straight around.
So that's look, Kenai. I keep saying Kenai, but so I probably more like Kenai. Surprised at all she just didn't make a play at that red one?
Well, I mean, you're in danger of taking the rock off the center line. So, but I am surprised they didn't at least talk about it. And what they did do was leave a pocket at the back of the forefoot. So you'd have been better off throwing it through than what they ended up doing.
So a great opportunity now for Jolene Campbell. Has probably as perfect a scenario as you can hope for in this end, where you've got 2 guards out there and you got 2 rocks just almost at the back of the button, creating a wall. So got to take advantage in one of these situations.
Yeah. The hard part of this shot is the mental part of where you can't sit in the hacks if you're Rachel and think, I have to make sure I'm all the way down to it. You don't want to move those rocks. You don't want to change that pocket.
No. That's a very good shot.
It was the 5th rock of the end, so the peels can start now. I'd like to make 2 of them move here. Oh, that's a great result. Got rid of the pocket at the back of the forefoot too. Easy to look at that and say, wow, they lost their own yellow stones too, but those yellow stones weren't helping them.
No. The other side of that for Campbell, it's not quite as good as it was a minute ago, but she does have a rock at the back of the button and opportunity to play a guard.
Well, and here's the bonus to them too. Like the yellow one is still on the center line, so you play the second guard. I wouldn't be worried about guarding the shot rock. I'd be lining up the 2 guards. Let them hit the one at the back of the button, and then you come around the 2 guards. I don't like the idea of guard. You're gonna give her angle to play a double peel.
Well, the good news is it got over.
doesn't have to play the double peel. The yellow one's the only one that matters. That red one's not guarded anything, and never will be.
So we're going to peel the yellow one.
Yeah, she'd like to get the red at the back of the button, but you have to make sure you don't hit this on the nose. So, if you miss the red one, so be it. You don't want to nose it and leave this rock is never going to matter. There's not a lot of space between them, so there is a decent chance at the double peel here, but
another shot you just doesn't really make a lot of sense to.
Yeah, because if you ever don't hit the second one, the one you're hitting first doesn't matter. I'm not sure she's hitting anything.
Wow. So Campbell's rock is obviously in the perfect spot.
Tempting. I'm looking at the outturn too, Jolene. You come around with the outturn, you could start thinking about possibly stealing 2 now.
Yeah, I think you're right. The other thing too is you certainly can't start playing shots because the other team's not making as many as they should. But the reality here in this game is that neither team is making a lot of shots, so you don't have to be quite as worried, I don't think, as you usually would be. So Silvernagel now coming right around. Lots of rotation on this one.
That'll help it carry a little further.
Yeah. This is going to be very nice, actually.
Oh.
Should be happy with that. So Ueno will now try to peel or run back the one that she should have did the last time, but lots for her to hit here this time anyway.
Yeah. The problem with this one is she's got to play it as the straight back run back, so she's going to have to leave a guard, and this is already tight. They got to really go on the brush. She's close. Nope, it's going to overcurl. Oh, gets the excuse me bonus.
Yeah, as it turned out, still the red one's there is pretty well guarded already, and opportunity to come around again.
It's guarded, but it's back button. Like,
Yeah.
you can get to it now to get to shot rock. Jolene is essentially playing. This is basically the hybrid shot. You need to guard that stone at the back button, but she wants to bring it into the rings as well and sit 2, which gives her, maximum separation between that yellow guard and the one they're about to throw here too.
Yeah.
You just can't come right down to it, and this is heavy. We're sweeping for curl now. If you're going to be down to it, you better be right on the face. And she might be. I think she gets away with that.
We'll now try to get rid of both these rocks.
The nice thing with where that stone ended up for Robin is you're probably in a situation now where you're either getting the force or you're stealing 2.
Yeah.
Because it's not likely she's drawing to just cut you down to 1. You'll guard those 2 for your life and let her draw to what she can see of the pin with her last one, and you might be able to pick up a steal of 2 here.
Yui Ueno looked for the double peel and made it. So very nicely done.
They almost look like they're trying to guard the center line side of it. I think you have to dead guard the shot stone here.
Yeah.
They made the draw with the out turn. I think probably the reason they're playing the in turn here is you see these rocks as they're crossing the center line, they go really hard. So if you're trying to come just to rocks with past center, it would be real easy to over curl it.
Yeah. And Ueno's probably peeling this if you throw it in front of that anyway.
Yep, no doubt.
Then she'd be forced to end up put it back and forced to draw the button on the next shot.
Unless she over curls.
Yeah.
That's the worry. Like, you leave her half a rock on the broom side, she can make a double on the reds.
Yeah.
You leave her half a rock on the other side, she can't. Would have liked this to be tighter.
Yeah.
They got to be dead lined up when it's that long. Oh, really good brush.
She may ignore this. She may come around.
Yeah, she might chase. You can move the back one and at least leave your front one in a position where you're not looking at a steal of 2 anymore.
Yeah. Just play this with basically T-line weight or back 4-foot weight, and she sort of tapped and bounced off, but I don't know you want to bounce off it at all.
I don't like the bounce off.
No. Remember, you don't need to score here, but if you could make sure you only give up 1 would be ideal. In this situation, you're already in some trouble, so. Ouch. So Ueno now playing basically a draw, a heavy draw maybe, to the rocks in the 4-foot. It's going to be by that one. It's going to be pretty good if she can get it there.
She's over curling a bit, I think.
It is. Here's number 2 though.
Taps it enough to sit second. That's important.
And I think that was the key thing. Now it would have been nice to be a little bit left of that, but
Yeah, I don't think you need to be in the 12-foot. It's
no
not coming
advantage.
back onto the board, so
Yeah.
unless she's maybe worried about there's a chase from both sides, but the chase tap yellow on the red is still, well, I was going to say it's still only for single point. I'm not sure you can score with the chase.
No, I think
the red is still going to hit the red at the back, and it's still going to have a piece of the button. I'd be more worried about taking away the draw. I don't think she's got a shot over here.
No. I mean, it'd be different if you looked at this and said, well, gee, she's going to make that for 2 and put us away, but
I don't even think she can make it to score.
I agree.
And
it might change it here.
Yeah.
I mean, the outturn draw is a tough shot, don't get me wrong, but it's possible. This shot.
It's possible, and I don't think this is.
Yeah. To have a group chat.
Okay, but what does that do, Robin?
I know. I don't know why you worry about that.
The only thing I can think of and why she wants to get it tight is she thinks there's a chase from both sides. Sure, there is, but what do you get out of the chase? That's what Jolene's looking at now. You make the chase, we're still going to be shot rock, so she can't play it.
No, because she can't throw enough weight to get the red one to kick off the other red.
No, for sure.
And if you're afraid of that, then you just throw a guard up there wherever you want. I think you got to take away that outturn draw. They don't seem to be very concerned about that now. They've been talking about it, I think. There we go. That makes more sense. And there's no real advantage to being in the 12-foot. I mean, on this ice especially, because it doesn't have that, that big curl. Well, Robin's kind of convinced them, I guess, that they should guard this side, but I don't understand it.
The only thing is if they're worried that maybe she's going to play the 20-foot angle run-in, because that's there for 3.
Yes.
And it's probably not any harder than the draw to what she can see of the button.
You might be right, yeah. So Jolene Campbell now just basically trying to cap off the shot rock that's in the house, and the possible, I can't call it a run back, possible just a little raised takeout. Just want to make sure this one doesn't really go crazy and overcurl. Well,
all she's got is the draw to the button.
Yeah.
You can look at it all day.
I don't know, Sean. Might not play that. Looks like they're going to play the intern tap.
They're going to play yellow onto red, jam on the back, and give up the steal one.
It's a hard game to figure out, man.
Well, she must think she can throw enough weight at this. Like, you're still never going to double the yellows out, but you got to move them both out of the button area. You've got to have probably hack weight. You're moving 3 stones, right?
Yeah. So Miyu Ueno now, their final rock here in N7.
Yeah, she's definitely throwing the weight to try to move the 3. Keeping for curl. Now, how thick can she hit that yellow?
No, she's going to be close.
She moved it far enough, mostly because she slashed the yellow awfully thin. That's a great shot.
Yeah, and Robin Silvernagel certainly proved me wrong. She was right to try to guard that shot. It just didn't guard it. And Ueno will pick up a single here in end number 7 and take a 3-point lead to the 8th end here at the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. We'll be back right after the break.
Hey Mark, you ready for this game tonight?
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Cupsy, what are you doing over there?
Don't worry, boys. Was just on AztecSafety.com, took a fire extinguisher safety course. Paul, I'm putting out the fires from now on. Woo!
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan. Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
So we're back for the 8th end here in our match between Jolene Campbell and Miyu Ueno. Ueno with a very nice shot to finish off that 7th end, though, Sean. We've got to give her a bit of credit because we didn't really think that she could pull that last shot off.
Yeah, critical that she threw that, and she did. She threw plenty of weight to make the slash, and actually, by hitting it a little thinner, she got her yellow to spin into a little bit more of the button. That was critical because it did jam at the back, which is what we thought it was going to do. But
yeah,
she actually got the raised stone into a bigger piece of the button than I would have thought she could have.
Yeah. And unfortunately for Jolene, she kind of threw a guard that didn't guard anything. And I don't know, they really didn't need to be there. They could have had a foot to the other side and she would have been fine. Anyway, she got the corner guard up, so let's go see what happens here. See a couple
one
corners
corner guard up. You're going to see another one. It's, do you stack them or do you throw opposite side? Probably opposite side, I would think.
Yeah, although, I don't know, yeah, that's probably okay. Nope, she's going the same side, I think.
Stack them.
It hasn't convinced me yet. I've said this a few times. I'm just not quite as convinced on this. Stack corners, but
yeah, where you stack them, usually it's when the first one didn't get tight enough. You stack them. The problem with stacking them, it works the same as it works down the center, but there's going to be an attempt at a double peel somewhere. Whereas if you get them even across the house, they never even get to try the double peel.
Yeah. So Asula Kine. So 3 very good rocks for lead stone. Key day there. You got 2 in the 4 foot and a nice top 12. So well done. Everybody's happy about it.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'd play this either. It would be tempting to play like back 8 foot weight, just nose the one that was just thrown and jiggle the yellows around, and then you're kind of hoping when you do that you could convince her to just play the one in the 12 foot.
Yeah,
I'd like to keep her from peeling these guards for as long as I could.
Yeah.
Plus, just because there is some angles on those yellows, you nose hit that yellow that was just thrown with back house weight, try to jiggle all the yellows around. You could end up with something back 8 foot behind these corners, which would help you too.
Yeah. Here's a super nice draw here from Rachel Erickson.
Yeah, that needed to be deeper too, because now she's peeling the guard, and if you don't replace the guard, she's got a fairly short double on the reds, the guard and the one in the rings. You need 3, so you don't want to be having to throw the second guard all day.
Yeah, you got to create a little space, yeah.
If that's even in the back 12, you're not as worried about her making the double.
The peel attempt made.
Now I think you have to deal with those yellows some way or another. Now you might have to leave the one in the 12-foot, try to come around to sit on the corner of the others.
Okay.
Yeah, she's looking at making the move now. The problem with trying to move them now is you're going to leave your shooter in a spot where she can play a double on the reds and the rings.
Yeah.
It'd be tempting here to throw the intern, come around the one at the top of the 12-foot and try to sit in front of the other 2.
Yeah, they're a little confused. I can't blame them. It's hard to figure this one out. Next shot, but I agree that those yellows have to move a little bit. You don't like to have to do that kind of stuff when you...
Yeah, I'm not playing that for sure.
No.
Like the point to playing the yellows now is to try to leave your shooter in a spot where they have to play that. They can't try the double on the corner.
Yeah.
I don't like this.
And you don't need to get rid of all of these right now, this is kind of more a shot to do that.
Yeah, you roll to where they talked about you're actually going to let her try a triple.
Yeah. Erickson now with her second. Here in end number 8.
Well, it's pretty easy to make one go away. 2 aren't going away because it's going to roll into those yellows, but that might not be bad for Ueno either.
Yeah.
Those yellows aren't great where they are. It's one little bump away from being a pocket. I'd be tempted to just blast it. And if it comes across and kills one of those yellows, that's not the end of the world at all.
Yeah, I agree.
This is a little more finessey than I'd like to be playing. Up 3. Ooh, and that was a big pop. Yeah, they didn't dare sweep it at the end. They were afraid they were going to actually rub it in behind the guard. You played a split if you're Jolene? I don't know if you can straight guard it. I like the split. Push it behind and roll in front of the other 2.
Split on the red? On the red in the 12-foot, you mean?
Yep. Everything is so close together already. She's got runs to kill 2. You throw another guard up, she's going to have just so many angles. Even if she plays the double peel, you can't guard both of the rocks and the rings after that.
So I was thinking they settled on the guard, but this looks a little, I don't know, it might be okay. That always look too deep. Well, it's a good shot.
Probably the double peel makes the most sense. She tries to run the tight guard. I mean, if you run it into the one in the 12-foot and stuff it, it's going into the 2 yellows. You could leave 3 reds in the rings. You play that double peel. If it's over the top, you might get 3 to go. Even if you just get rid of the 2 guards, how does she guard both rocks in the rings with only 1? Because, they're never going to be lined up no matter how you jam this. You definitely want to move 2 here. I mean, I guess it's not critical. You get one. She's got to guard it again. Eventually, she runs out of rocks to throw guards with because she's got 2 yellows in the middle she's got to deal with yet. Oh, it's bad if that doesn't leave, though.
Yeah.
3 is definitely... There's not a guard in play, and 3 is definitely in play now. Even if she makes a double. And that's the dilemma Jolene finds herself in. She doesn't want to play the yellows because the red double's not there as long as the 2 yellows that are there to catch it. So now what do you do?
Nose hit that. Gently.
Yeah. It still changes one of the catches into a red one, which would help Ueno. It's probably the right call. I don't see anything else.
Robin Silvernagel. Her final one in the 8th end. Well, it's not often you're going to sit 1 and the other team is in a great position to get 4.
Yeah, well, and there's no real guaranteed obvious doubles to be made either. Because again, you make the double on the 2 reds that are closest together, it's coming towards those 2 rocks in the 4-foot. If it ever jammed on the yellow one, she's still sitting 3.
Yeah.
And drawing or playing some kind of a hit to sit the 4th one. They're actually looking at the crosshouse double, so jam the first one, but then roll all the way across and kill the one in the 12-foot. And if you don't kill it, even if you just sit, whatever it would be, 4th shot, beating it is not bad either. And then where you jam this first one, you might be on a better angle to play a double on the next one.
Well, I'll give him credit for playing the biggest shot of the game and taking the least amount of time to call a shot so far today. Oh,
no, he spoke
take it back. Yeah.
She's playing a guard.
I don't get that. A couple of reasons. It just has to be so good. Even if you make it good, Jolene could. I still think she could run her top red one into her own and take it out.
If you make it perfect, she runs the guard back, yellow onto red, stuff it, and roll the guard out. It's still for 4.
Yeah.
No, she's not going to play it on her first one. That's the only difference. She can't play it on her first one. This has to be absolutely perfect too, because we've seen so many good chases. The ice is just really conducive to playing the chase, and if you leave Jolene the chance to get to her own stone and tap that yellow back, doesn't even have to kill it on the first one. She's coming right to the face.
She has to be dead in line, though.
Yeah, that's a hit to sit 5 all day.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a couple of... If she curls 2 more inches, it's really nice, but...
If you don't leave a triple, you've got a shot to the for the win now. It's nose hit to sit 5. And a double doesn't hurt you. Now, leaving a double behind doesn't hurt you, because you're still going to have a shot for the win. Wow. Nose hit her ever so slightly to the center line side.
So shocking as it is, Jolene Campbell with a chance to possibly win this game in the 8th end. First, she's got to make this, so It's not a difficult shot, but you got to hit it in the right spot.
Yeah, you really need to make both yellows go away here. You can't just dead stuff it.
No, solid weight, so.
Yeah, I think it's sitting 5.
It is.
And I don't see a triple.
Nope. That might be the shot you just indicated. Might be the shot to play, or you got to draw somewhere through that port, maybe.
Yeah, the draw might be the better way to get there. If you play the hit and roll, you're going to leave a pretty short red run.
Yeah.
It does matter who's sitting 5th at the back, but it looks like red to me.
Yeah, I'm thinking red as well.
Could you make the triple, the tight double? Would it clip that one at the back 12? I mean, it's going to be in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
You hate to have to try a triple like that just to guarantee an extra end. But
yeah.
Because you're not going to be hidden at all if you try that one. So it's going to be an open shot. You're going to leave an open shot. So you have to make the triple if you play that. I think I like this call. It's your idea, Jim. You draw through there, because I don't think you play the hit and roll that she looked at first. You're just going to leave a short red run.
Exactly.
You could be back 8 foot here and you're okay. There's always going to be a shot. Like, Jolene's going to try something. She's going to have an angle run, something, chase. She's going to have something, and she's going to play the shot for the win.
And I do think this one is better, but you'd be back then.
You get more separation for sure. And more separation gives you a better chance that she drives it by.
Looks like she got out to the broom at least, and that's the first part done. Now, where's the weight? Feels a little heavy to me, but...
It's still got a lot of line, too. I don't think she's going to have to play any kind of a run. She can get at it directly. That's why you see Robin doesn't even want to sweep it, because she doesn't want to bury it. It's open. Pick it out for the win. You do not have to stay.
Not perfect communication on that. They could have actually... I think the sweeper at the last second thought, I just thought maybe we can touch this. Just a slight touch of it would have been buried. This is for 6.
It is.
Well,
you won't be heartbroken if you only get 5.
No. They can't even measure anything. A very, very odd end of curling.
Yeah, she makes the port. She's made the shot. There's not a hole there. The only tricky thing here is she's coming off the center line, and certainly we've seen with the draws, they move hard when they come across. So this is going to be very release sensitive. If she backs it up at all, it'll run for a long time. If she crosses it all, it would curl early.
So it's on its way.
Starting to move. They're going to have to go.
Might have went a little quick. Can they hold it up? I think they're going to be fine. Sneak it through, and sure enough, count them up. Looks like 6 red ones here for Jolene Campbell in end number 8. And she will defeat. You'll have another look at this. I think, give Jolene credit. This is a very nice throw. Just nice control weight. Sweepers did a good job.
Yeah, really threw that to the brushers. And that's one of the things you see with the equipment that we have nowadays and what they've learned about the brushing. You know, there's once upon a time, if you were throwing a hit on a stone like that through a port where you didn't need to stay, you just whip it through there. But now you throw it where the brushers can do what they have to it, whether they have to hold it straight, whether they have to make it curl. The quieter you throw those hits, the more you can control that line. Gave it to the sweepers and put it right on the beat.
Yep. So both teams will end up 1 and 2. and we'll wait to hear where they are as far as possible playoffs. Maybe not, but we will see. And I want to thank everybody for taking this one in. It was a long one, but and a very different curling game, but exciting finish for sure. So thank you for taking this in at the RBC Dominion Securities Western Classic here on Stadium Sports Network, Curling Stadium. And for Sean Joyce, myself, and Matthew and Kaylee on production and cameras, we will say goodbye for now and see you at 11:45, I guess it is local time, for the next one.